Mr. Paul Gorman, welcome
Hello,
to
Max.
We have a few issues, but we're going to make this
Oh,
work. This is
dear.
going to air after episode 7, season 6 has aired. So
Mhm.
there's no spoilers because we don't like to do that because Outlander fans will kill me and you.
Okay.
But here's the problem. The lovely Danielle and Stars gave me an exclusive link. I spent almost 2 hours yesterday trying to make that link work, but it didn't. And this morning I got an email from Stars US. Hey, we need to do a video chat with you to prove who you are because this is really important. So I was like, wow, this is serious. They want to call me from America and look at me to prove I am who I am.
Oh my God.
I know, this is the security around Outlander. So have you even watched episode 7 yet?
I have. I got sent the link as well, but it was very secure. It was like, I felt like it was a Mission Impossible or something. I was like having to do this, having to do that, having to do this. There's like so much secrecy surrounding this. I was like, oh my days. I felt like I shouldn't have the link. I felt too much pressure to have the link.
Okay, so we're going to play this a little bit differently and completely
Cool.
honest. You know everything that's happened. I will know by the time this goes out. So I want you to fill my boots and tell me everything. Firstly, Beardsley twins.
Yes.
It's a big episode for you.
It's a big one. We everything that we've been kind of building towards in the last 2 seasons comes to fruition in this episode. We find out. I can say, can't I? I can say. I'm gonna say. Cool. We find out that Lizzie and the twins are having a relationship. All 3 of them in a very unconventional but loving way.
Do the twins know that she's been sleeping with both of them?
Yes.
And are they okay with that? Because I have twins as best friends and they are very different.
I think most sets of twins are different from these 2 boys. They are. I think it was never like planned or intentional. It just came about. And I think that's what is kind of loving about it. It wasn't planned. There's no kind of jealousy involved. There's no fighting over anybody. It's both of them having so much love for this woman and this woman having so much love for these 2 that they just decide to have a kind of unconventional relationship because and it seems to work as well. Yeah.
How do they serve Lizzie differently? What do they both give that's slightly different about them?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a very good question. I think maybe Josiah would be more, I don't know, kind of like resolute in his love, or more kind of like he'd be kind of like maybe the rock in the relationship. Whereas Kezzy, because he has a kind of more of a kind of loving nature, he's more kind of caring and more kind of like a kind of shoulder to cry on maybe. But they both are just filled with so much love.
Oh, is it weird? Because you know, in modern day, like now, I'm not saying it's happened, but very rarely do people happily be in couples like this, where 2 guys, 1 girl, or 2 girls, 1 guy. And at that point in the story, they've given you this narrative and you have to play along with it. So I'm wondering, when you're reading the script and then you're acting it out, are you having moments where you're like, wow, what this would be like?
I think everybody else is. Everybody's like, so I've heard what's happening with you 2. I think I was getting a costume fitted at the start of season 6. I remember the costume person being like, so I heard what's happening with you and Lizzie, and I was like, yep. But I think because me and Caitlin have been knowing about it for so long, like I've known about it since I signed on, as did Caitlin as well, that it's just became, we just kind of recognise it, and it is like kind of accept it. Maybe not in our own lives personally, but for the show, for the relationship, that it is what we just see it as. Because its foundations are in love and like an admiration for for each other. That it just does seems right in a way, in a weird, wonderful way.
When you think about that first day being on set, Outlander, I believe it was your first big TV show, never been on a TV set before.
Never.
Was there something random that you've tried to forget happened? I don't want to know your best memory. I just want to know if there was something that you think, God, I'm going to forget that happened. I'm just not going to tell anyone.
I don't know. I've been really lucky with the past 2 seasons. I've not done anything really daft. I have I have walked off different ways before, been like walking off that way, and then I'd be like, cut, and they'd be like, Paul, you're going to go off that way. I'm like, okay, I'm going off this way. It's like, but that first day, I suppose that first day was such a whirlwind. And as you said, Max, I've never done a television show before. It's my first ever screen job as well, so I've never been on like a proper set. Just only kind of short films I've done at kind of drama school, and just the sheer amount of people that are on set is just completely bewildering, but also just so magical as well. Everybody's like fixing you up and fixing your hair and fixing your costume. And I think for me as an actor, that was a massive learning curve to been like, okay, they're doing their job and I need to do my job. I need to kind of like focus on the scene, focus on my kind of relationship and knowing what's happening and not get caught up in the kind of madness of it, because it's so easy to do so, because it is just so magical.
See, what I wonder as well is like, I'm currently also working over at Channel 5, and
nice.
Like the hosts, Claudia and Sean, they're all in the green room, the dressing room. And sometimes I'm like, better not give too much Max, because it could be quite weird and quite loud when I want to be. But it's like when you're there, because of like Sam, Katrina, you know, there's people that have been there forever, but those two are the two biggest names.
Yeah.
I think that tiptoeing the first few days, like when they're sitting having their dinner, do they have, I'm sure they don't have special canteen, but are there moments where you're like, okay, that's Kat and Sam, I'm going to back off a little bit?
Oh, not at all. They're just so warm and so welcoming that I never felt like that at all. I think when it is your first job, you do have a kind of thing of that, of thinking that there's maybe a hierarchy at all, but there's not at all. They are just so open. They're open with like the whole crew and so welcoming that you don't feel there is a kind of level system at all. Like Sam, we went to the same drama school at different times, because I was a wee bit older than me. So we had that that to talk about, and Katrina is just like so warm and welcoming as well, and that I felt at complete at ease, and without sounding so cheesy and so cliche, it felt like they were like good friends from the get-go.
Everyone I've spoken to said the same thing. Now, last week I chatted to the gorge Jessica, who plays Melba.
Oh, love her so much.
At that point, Paul, I didn't know who had killed her or who the baby daddy was. Yeah. Right now, I'm assuming in this episode we still don't know.
We do not know.
All right.
There is some accusations getting thrown about, but we do not know at all.
Claire. Mm-hmm. She's definitely been thrown under the bus. First person on the list, right?
Yeah.
So how does it play out in this episode? Who looks the most guilty?
That's a good question.
Because Jess said to me, Melva has been getting it on with a lot of people, Max.
She has, yeah.
Surprised.
Oh, that's a good question. I think Obadiah Henderson is one that might be.
I've had him on.
You've had him on. You don't think it's him?
Interrogated him. I don't think it's Ewan. I really don't think. He didn't say no, but I just don't think it's him. No.
I thought from when I was watching the episode as an audience member, I was thinking he's quite suspicious coming up to the house and like kind of having a go at Roger and then young Ian and Jamie as well. So I was a wee bit suspicious. So I think the writers have done such a good job with this episode, because there is just so much mystery in it, and you really don't know who's done it. They've done such a good job that at one point you do think, is it Claire? But you're like, no, of course not. It cannot be Claire.
Do you know?
Do I know?
Yeah. I know you're an actor, so don't get me wrong. Like, I agree with everything you've just said, but I don't tell me, because we don't want to spoil it for people.
Of course. But
does Paul Gorman know who the baby daddy is and who killed Melva?
I do indeed, but I ain't giving anything away. I ain't saying anything. I ain't saying anything.
Confession today, yeah. I'm really annoyed because the fans, I have a lot of lovely Outlander fans that follow me, and I've been trying to find out bits about the episode because I couldn't see it without knowing everything.
Yeah.
And I think I've accidentally found out who it is, and I'm gutted.
Max,
no. I'm gutted. Like,
that's the thing. You can't look at social media because you just find out, or you're gutted at finding out, or you're gutted at who the person is.
I found out because obviously I knew it was going to be dark and it was going to be something really mad, because this is Outlander. This is real, like, shocking stuff. But it's the fact that I found out, and then the fans love them. Max, do you want us to confirm it? Get into your DMs and we'll let you know. I'm like, do I ask or don't I? Like,
did you ask?
I did.
Oh, Max! No! No!
I have to ask you, when you're in a show like this, how is it watching us and friends and family? And do they want to know, or do you literally say, no, I'm not spoiling it for you guys?
I do that. I don't say it. I don't like when I get spoiled things. I don't like to, even if when they're saying like, oh, please tell me, I'm like, no, because like when that moment when you're watching a television show or a film or a theatre show and you find that when a penny drops, there's nothing like it. That feeling, that kind of rush of being like, oh my God, it was them. I think that beats everything rather than just like spilling the juice. And we all love a bit of goss.
Final question before I say bye. Super excited. We've got one more episode. This one that we're talking about would have aired, so I would have watched it. So then one more. And I know you guys are already filming season 7. Kate and Sam have been sharing little bits and bobs, and you're really good with all the behind the scenes stuff. I love it. Like, how's it going? Because your character, how awesome that he's continuing.
I know. I'm so
They're continuing. Sorry, they're continuing.
Thank you. I'm just so grateful that they've kind of asked, that the guys have asked me back and to kind of like see the kind of journey of these two boys. They've kind of came from really kind of awful backgrounds and like kind of really kind of troubling pasts, and to see them kind of finding a home and hopefully finding a family as well, it's just so kind of heartwarming to see kind of come to fruition. And we've been loving being back in season 7, season 6 especially. No lockdown as well. That was what's so magical about season 6, was like we were really privileged that we got to continue to work during when the world was just kind of locked down, and seeing everybody again. It's just the exact same feelings again coming to season 7, and you think season 6 is ramping up, season 7 just takes it to another level.
Okay, well, I'm looking forward to seeing you be a daddy.
Yes.
and also Caitlin as Lizzie. So looking forward to more babies. Outlander just can't get enough of them, can they?
Too much babies. I mean, not too much babies. We love babies. And the babies are so cute. They're so cute.
Listen, you absolutely rock. Thank you so much for this chat. And
no problem, Max.
Just let everybody know out there, please stop sharing spoilers.
Yeah, shh. No spoilers. Yeah. Just keep it a secret.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Max. It was lovely to meet you.
Episodes. Have an amazing day, and thank you for the chat.
Thank you. So you have a lovely day as well. Thank you so much for the chat as well. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye, Max.
Bye, Max.